Deme D, man. Hip hop was good. It's the DagogetaTv. I'm your guy, Deme D. This is another episode of On Deck with Deme, my interview series, and I'm here with a familiar face. Salute to the guy, man. We back in the building. It's 2025. Cartune Beatz was good, my G.
Good, my guy.
Yo, it's a pleasure, man. We back in the building. It's 2025. I'm not going to start with the spiel I started with before because you've been here before, back in 2022. I came across your music. You had produced, you was part of the producers that produced for Banks' Return at the time, Cody Part 1. So it's been a while because he done dropped a ton of shit since then. You know what I'm saying? You put me on the J Skis, so thank you for that too because you had did some shit with him as well.
Yep.
But you been cooking, man. How you feeling, man? How's the game been treating you?
Good, man. I'm just trying to make sure I progress every year, every month, every week. So I'm always working. I'm always reaching out, to new artists, just building connections. It's about kind of like just piggybacking off of, your last accomplishment or
we talked about that,
or success or whatever you want to call it. So it's important to keep momentum. I've noticed, with artists and producers, you got to keep your momentum going. Once it gets too quiet for you, even with as a big artist, it gets quiet, you start to lose some of your traction. So it's important to just, keep things moving.
No doubt, you stay true to that and you always do push that and preach that. So I always appreciate that too, because I find it inspiring as well. Like you people always say, you talk it up, but you got to do more than just talking. So you talk it up and you I guess you could use the manifest thing, but you put motion in it, you put action. So I appreciate that. But again, so I came across you, producing for Banks since then. You've been a part of his whole return. You even produced the bulk of what was it, part 2, I'm gonna say, Cody 2.
Part 2 and 3.
Produced the bulk, you was in the Halloween series too.
Yeah.
So how is that? How did that progress as far as now you're pretty much part of the in-house production with him?
I mean, we just kept working and I didn't get complacent with just 1 or 2 placements. We got good, the music chemistry is good. I got familiar with, obviously the sound that he gravitates towards. I think it helped, helped push his pen and helped push my production because my production even changed. If you go back and listen to the beats on Cody and then you listen in progression to the projects that he's dropped, you can hear how my beats change, how my sound kind of changes. So I think it's been good for both of us. And I think now we up to 28 songs that's out.
Oh, that's counted for.
Yeah. So
now salute to that, man.
Yeah, that's a large chunk of discography. So
yeah, you got Banks working. And speaking of working though, so how's the workload changed? Because you're not only producing for Banks, you got stuff for Termanology. What you did stuff. Well, because I want to start with the 2023. I kind of lost track of because you got so much shit.
It has been a lot. I lose track.
Yeah, I lost track. But how did that work? Because you're doing all that stuff with Banks, and now you're getting featured with other people. How did the workload change?
It definitely got more busy because obviously, once people notice, you're doing a lot of stuff for Lloyd Banks, people tap in, and I also didn't wait. I didn't sit.
I'm glad you keep mentioning.
I did. Some people will do that and be like, okay, I just did all this, so now people know who I am. I'm gonna see who reaches out. I was still reaching out, trying to get beats to people, and my thing is I keep working as if I don't have anything or I haven't done anything because I set the bar high for myself. So for myself, even now, I still haven't done a fraction of what, I think I'm capable of and I want to do.
I feel you on that.
So, I just keep working. Again, I'm always looking I look for new artists. I reach out to artists. I'm listening to, I listen to new stuff that comes out and I try to see who would fit on, the beats that I might be making at that time. So yeah, I've worked with a lot of people since then. Termanology, Smif-N-Wessun, There's really so many that I'd have to pull out a list.
I want to mention him because I think he was one of the first people you started working with, if I'm correct. RJ Payne.
Yeah, I can't forget RJ.
That's why I was like, at least I want to throw that. We're going to address everybody.
Him and Banks were they were the ones that really gave me that big underground push into
that's a good look at the time because who's better than them and not better as far as skill, but that's a good look with them two in that
right. So yeah, and RJ I talk to every week. Banks like every other week. So I worked the closest probably with like both of them.
Okay.
So yeah, they were very.
Yeah, you are consistent and get a lot of work. Well, I see you. You working a lot with Term. Well, that's probably later on. You working a lot with Term now too. I see.
Yeah, because
I got a chance to interview him and ask about you as well.
Yeah, we. I forgot what was the first. I don't know, because we got at least 3 records.
I want to say it was the joint with him and Paul. No,
that was the second record with him. I think the
Okay.
first one we did was it was on like one of his summer packs.
the
I
summer
think.
pack joint.
And then I got on the album with him and Paul Wall, and it was him, Paul Wall, and Nems, and you know, that kind of led to me reaching out to Nems more and sending him beats, and you know, now I got work with him. I just did like his single for his album America's Sweetheart dropping. I produced Fat Boy, and I got another joint on there too.
I like that joint too.
But yeah, that's what when I say piggybacking, that's what I mean. And I actually had a connection with Paul Wall since like 2013, 14. We followed each other on Twitter. And I was trying to like get him beats, and you know, like stuff get lost in the shuffle of DMs. So it was funny because when they did like the album release, like Paul Wall pulled up and I got to actually meet him in person, and I was telling him, and I showed him. I was like, "Oh, yo!" He was like, "That's crazy." I was like, "Yeah, I've been locked in."
It all comes back around.
Yeah, so I was like, we finally got like a record and stuff like that. So you know, we exchanged like contact information. I still send him stuff here and there.
And he's working too, so he's definitely somebody that it pays to connect with, because he just put out a project, I believe, last year. So again, what was the name of the Nims joint? The album he's dropping?
That's America's Sweetheart. That's dropping February 14th. But yeah, I had the lead single Go Fat Boy.
Go Fat Boy.
I got another joint on there that's crazy. When y'all listen to it, y'all hear it. But
with a City 2 BK in the building, Nims. But so I do want to. Speaking of that though, let them know where you're from, because I know you've been here before, but we might have some. Well, not might have. We probably have. You know, some new watchers that they're not familiar.
Right.
I know you from Harlem and Florida, right?
Yeah, I moved around. So I'm originally from Harlem, like 140th and Lenox, and I left there when I was probably like 11. Moved to like 108th Street for like a year, and then we packed it up, went to Florida. And that's where I went to like half of like middle school and high school. And then I actually, after that came back. That's when I came back to the city. And then I started, I started like my college journey, because I was playing ball. So
that's right. Yeah, you did ball.
So I did like my little hoop thing. I went to a junior college in Pennsylvania. I played there for 2 years. And then I transferred to college out here, Farmingdale State, where I played ball for like a semester, but I was already getting heavy into like music and stuff. You know, I wasn't on a scholarship or nothing. So I was just like, yo, you know what? It's time to switch it to music. I was like, I'm not going to the league, and overseas. I already had like a lot of like injuries and things like that. So I was just like,
but you was playing like that where even overseas was actually a thought though.
Oh yeah, for me. Oh yeah,
that's dope.
People that play with me, they know. I got hoop.
You was in there.
I got hoop.
No, but that's what's up though. So, and I know you I would say you're like a hip hop fan. I would say last time we spoke.
Yeah.
So, as a fan, what made it producing and not rapping? Trying your hand at rapping. What made you try producing first?
That's a good question. I mean, I kind of did rapping early in high school. Like my twin brother, who's also a producer.
Salute to Hertz, right?
800 Hertz, yeah.
Salute.
He rapped a little bit more. Like we had a high school talent show where he actually rapped. At that time, like I kind of like, he produced too, and I produced, but I was like, I don't really want to do the whole rapping thing. So it was like we were capable, but you know, it wasn't really something I wanted to like. You know, I couldn't just see I'm realistic. You know,
and
I couldn't really I couldn't see myself doing this, so I wasn't gonna force it. But producing was something that it just kind of came like the actuality of like making beats and me catching on how to do it. It happened like easily for me. So, you know, I was like, this is something a little bit more realistic, to where if I wanted to take this like to the next level, you know, it's a little less strenuous as far as the work on my part. But you know, there's a whole nother part of that, which is getting the connections and everything. So
and the equipment, right? Because it's like with rapping, you could just go to the studio. As a producer, you kind of have some of your own equipment at least, right? I know you could get sounds and borrow sounds and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah. You got to get your own stuff. But I mean, these days, like
now it's over. Now.
I just had a laptop, honestly, and I came up and really got into production, which people probably won't believe because they hear so much of my boom bap stuff. But like Lex Luger, Southside.
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
Those were some of my big inspirations because I had the same program, and then when I realized all the stuff that they was making was on like FL Studio. I was watching their YouTube videos. I was listening to all their beats and stuff like that. So they kind of really, I know they're not the first people to use FL Studio, but I feel like they really put it on the map in a way that let the world know about it. And, you know, once I found out, I was like, well, I got the same program. If they could do it, why can't I, you know?
That's what, I mean, it's like with a lot of shit, it's like we're playing ball, right? The dude will come with the fresh new sneakers, the fresh outfit can't ball for shit, though, right? And then there's someone who have all the equipment and can't do nothing with it. So, you know, it's what you make of it for the most part as well. I also peeped something too about your name. I don't think we discussed it last time. I didn't know it was more to it. It's simple, but it's more to it. Big fan of cartoons.
Yes. That's how I thought of my name. I wanted to incorporate like part of like the real me, like my actual self and stuff that I like into like music. So, you know, I've always been like a fan of like all kinds of different like cartoons, and I just thought to flip it to where the tune part is the music part. So now I kind of created like almost like a persona with like cartoon, but it's real because
it's part of you.
Yeah.
That's dope. So we gotta speak on that real quick though. So give me I won't say top 3. I'm gonna say give me 3 of your favorite cartoons.
Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, I should have known.
Second is tough to put it second over Justice League.
I won't say no order. Just some of your favorites. Yeah.
But like Batman,
classic.
Batman and like Justice League. But
yeah, because I'm a cartoon head too, so
X-Men.
X-Men, of course. Also, you watched the I shouldn't even have to ask, right? Nah.
Religiously, I'm waiting for the next season to come out.
Is another one coming?
Yeah, X-Men 95. Yeah, they're working on that.
Yeah, even though we had to wait 1,000,000 years for that. Though.
I know. It was worth it though. That was
to them though.
It was tough.
Word. So I see. I don't know if you did it before, but I see you just you did a whole project. You produced. For damn, I said I wasn't gonna forget the God.
Yeah, Fahim, the God Fahim.
So you did a whole project. Is that your first joint?
Yeah, that was.
Salute, my God, word, that's dope.
Yeah, that was a dope process too, because I tried to make it simple for him. All like he really had to do was just rap. We got the songs together. I reached out for like the features, and we did good. We got RJ.
Okay, so you produced it.
Yeah, you know how they try to say.
Yeah,
like,
you produced it. You managed. Okay, salute to you, my guy.
So we ended up. Shout out to everybody that was on there. I really appreciated it. Sky Zoo,
shout them out,
RJ, Lord Sko. Hope I'm not forgetting Cormega. Yeah, and that was a dope project. And honestly, we did that like quick.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, in 2025 you're gonna see a lot more.
I fucks with your shit. I did not get to hear that. I just seen that recently. When did that drop?
You didn't hear that?
I didn't even because I was
like November.
I'll be true too. I'm not a Fahim listener.
Okay.
So I hear his stuff, but I don't follow. But I would have just listened to this off the strength of you. But I missed that one. So you said November?
Yeah, I think it was like November.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna definitely tap into that.
That's a solid project too.
Dope.
And we about to get back to work for a second one. Second one, yeah.
So you say you reached out to him though?
Yeah.
See, that's why
I reached out to him.
Yeah, my God, because you don't like you say, you don't sit and wait.
Nah,
you're not just trying to get Hollywood. Like you really trying to make shit happen. A lot of people don't understand that you have to make shit happen also. So
and they don't. I think also some people don't realize how capable they actually are of making.
I don't think they
stuff happen. Everybody thinks like it's like so far fetched. Like, oh, I'm not gonna reach out to them. They probably won't respond or this that.
But I can understand that. But once you're at a certain stage, it's like
what do you have? The worst that can happen is nothing, which is half the time that's what you might expect anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a fact though. So y'all salute to that though. The God Fahim, make sure y'all tap in with that.
Machine Gun Vocabulary.
That's the name of it. Yes. So do you want to get into what you're working on now, or you still? Did we cover? Well, I did want to talk about this too. Money Deposits.
Oh,
Gotta
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about that because that's a current track.
Yeah.
So Termanology and Tech dropped an album. So basically, you're kind of in that mix now as well.
Yeah,
I
for
know you
sure.
did something with Smif-N-Wessun as well.
Yeah,
What
they
was
did
the
single
50-50?
50-50, yeah.
So okay, so how does that feel? Because those is legends right there. So you
Yeah,
got the
no.
upcoming. I won't say upcoming, but like the
newer age, I guess.
and then you got the legend too. Because did you do something with Bun B, or he just was on your track?
Yeah, he was on the track with RJ. It was Bun B,
All right.
RJ, and Ice-T, which was crazy.
This is what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
So you got, how
I
does
got a
that
verse
feel, man?
from Ice-T.
You got the legends on your track, stamping you as well. Pause. I don't even think that's a pause, but niggas got me paranoid now.
And they both like actually showed like love. Like Ice-T I spoke with him briefly, like via DM. I met Bun B in person. But yeah, it's just, for me, it's cool because I'm like in between. I'm not like quite old enough to be like in that super, super early boom bap era, but I'm not young enough to not know like who some of them are and things like that. So I'm in a good space to where like I understand how important they are.
Okay, that's a fact.
One of the even like working with like Meth, because like
that's who I forgot. Can't forget Meth.
Nah, I can't forget him. And every time, like, you know, kind of just running into him is kind of like surreal because like he was like, you know, he was like the epitome of
God. That's
like,
my favorite, one of my favorite rappers ever.
Yeah, he's like super cool, down to earth, and you know, the record with Sky Zoo, Workload, I helped put that together, and the crazy thing of how that record came together is wild because what I basically did is I accidentally sent Sky Zoo a beat that Meth had already picked out and was working on. And I was going to use the melody and maybe change up the drums. And then by the time I realized it, Sky Zoo kind of started working on it. And then I was like, yo, why does this sound so familiar? Because Meth, he actually, I sent him a lot of stuff and he has like a lot of beats of mine that he picked out. But you know how it is, you never know if they're really going to use it.
Right.
So I reached out to like him and his team. And they was like, yeah, he's definitely going to use it. He already wrote to it. And I was like, all right, well, I was like, I got a record with like Sky Zoo is trying to drop. And actually I didn't even tell him. I was just like, yeah, I got somebody that like they're trying to drop a record soon. So I just wanted to make sure. But if you're definitely gonna use it, I'll tell him that, you know, I placed it first and stuff. So then Meth asked, like, he was like, who was it for? And I was like, it was Sky Zoo. He was like, oh, word, it was Sky Zoo?
Everybody loves Sky Zoo.
He was like, all right, bet. He's like, I'll tell you what. He was like, you give the beat to Sky Zoo, but I want to be on the record. I was like, you ain't got, I ain't gonna say nothing against that.
I mean, if you insist.
Right. It was one of those. And so I hit Sky Zoo. I was like, yo, I was like, you want to do a record with Meth? He was like, word? I was like, yeah.
See, and thank you for that story because a lot of times I'll be on, you on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, I wonder how that shit came together. And people just be like, oh, such and such probably did it. It's like, nah, fam, it don't always work as simple as that.
And I was even talking to Sky Zoo about that. I was like, it's crazy because Meth apparently, like, he always had like respect for Sky Zoo as an MC. They just never crossed paths and they never spoke. And like Zoo was saying, like, yeah, after like the record, like Meth sent me like a DM and a video telling me I'm dope and he wants a verse back from me and stuff like that. And you know, Sky Zoo probably never would have.
He put that together.
He probably never would have like known. And because the thing, like, you know how it is, especially with like hip hop and like egos, like they probably would have never crossed paths, or if they did, it would have just been passing.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been exactly. It wouldn't have been the same type of interaction. But that's dope because they both kind of embody the same kind of thing. Salute to Sky Zoo too, because I just did an interview with him too. My man, the cameraman, Two Shot Boogie, what up? You know what I mean? But
Workload out now. Sky Zoo featuring Method Man.
That's a dope and you could say you put that together, man. That's dope.
Basically.
Man. So with that being said, man, because it's like you're doing A&R shit. You basically, I want to say managing, but really producing. Are you thinking about maybe your own artist or putting somebody
at some
on?
point?
Yeah,
at some point.
Yeah, right. Probably better
a little bit later, because when I do it, I want to be in like the best position I can to really elevate them. Facts, you know, I want to bring them into a situation where everything I have like the full access to everything and push them in the right direction. But
that makes sense.
I mean, I've always been good at like finding artists like before they blow up and you know, having like an ear for talent. I remember finding out about like Post Malone, Bryson Tiller.
You work with Bryson, right?
Yeah, like right when he first started. Like but yeah, so I'm always listening for that too. So that's important. But yeah, that's definitely something I want to do.
Important. And I mean, you producing for them helps them as well, even if you're not, directly pushing them or whatever.
Right,
so
right.
That helps as well too. So, but yeah, so let's get into what I know you mentioned the NIMS thing. Or what can we expect this year, and what are some of the things you're focusing on mainly too?
Really just expanding my sound right now. I'm going to continue heavy in the boom bap lane because that's where I'm presently most requested. So
hey, go with money, that right? I know you're trying to expand as well, but it'll all come in due time, especially with your work, actually.
Right. So yeah, I'm just branching out, and this year the goal is more projects and more output from me. I got my my own Apple Music set up and Spotify. So now I'm about to have releases. I'm working on like a single with like RJ, and we trying to get somebody on there. I reached out to a lot of people, but I've realized that I've amassed, like when I look through my phone sometimes, I'm like, damn, like I really have been, I amassed a lot of connections,
That's what's up.
I send beats to people every day. I was
gonna ask you that.
I text like Jada, Styles, Conway, Freddie Gibbs. Those are all people that I'm sending beats like, like on weekly. Obviously like Banks, RJ, like newer people. But yeah, I've built a strong network by, just being consistent and persistent. I also, everybody sees like I show up to a lot of events. How I am, if I produce for like a big or known artist, if I can catch you at a show in the city, I'm gonna go so I can meet you in person, vibe like that. That always leads to you meeting other artists and things like that. Like I've been sending like Ghostface stuff, like all kinds of people.
I would love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a process. Like I also realized that you can send somebody like beats for like a year and you might not actually get a placement until like the following year. So it's just like, you just got to be patient and
just
you got to
keep your head up, keep your spirits high.
Yeah, and just stay like, you got to just be positive. But definitely more projects this year. I'm working on, like I literally got a list.
Well, when you say projects, do you mean just more placements, or you want to do more like the God Fahim type of thing?
Both, but right now I'm in the midst of like projects. I wanted to like bust out a list so I don't forget nobody.
Yeah,
but
I mean, let's start with I know the one you can talk about. We could talk about Nym. You got something with Nym Lo, Harlem's finest.
Yes,
one of the illest out.
Yeah, shout out to Nym Lo. He's dope. We worked in the same studio, and the workflow was just easy, simple, and we getting some dope records out of it. So I'm not sure exactly when that'll drop. Hopefully like March, but we just about done. We just finishing up records. We're going to get a couple features, recruit some people, but Nym Lo, I don't know if you are familiar with Errol Holden. Cameron been posting him.
Yeah, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's like super dope. Like it's like almost like spoken word. Like if you had to compare him to anybody, like it would be like kind of like Jay Electronica a little bit.
I got you.
But yeah, he's super dope, like super lyrical. He's also from Harlem. We working on a project. I already got like at least 3 records with him out now. I'm working with Fillmore Green from Chicago.
Okay.
Super dope.
Okay, so yeah, you got a variety of artists
and different kinds too. So Fillmore Green, another artist from Cape Town, South Africa, Youngster CPT. We almost done with our project. That's gonna be fire. He's another dope artist. And one of the reasons I reached out to him too is because I'm also like trying to expand like my fan base and just make different kinds. Like the stuff that I got with him, everything is not like boom bap. There's like trap. There's all of that. I actually got a trap joint out now. Shout out to Richie West, Lord Finesse 2.
I saw that.
So Lord Finesse 2 is out. I got 2 joints on there. One is on I got the intro, Lord Finesse 2, and then I also got Okaden. That's like an upbeat, faster tempo, like kind of Detroit kind of record. So I mean, y'all would hear the beat and you wouldn't think that I did it, but all that stuff is stuff I'm capable of, and that's why I want to expand and let people know what else I'm capable of production wise. Red Cafe, somebody I've been working with for like the last
Brooklyn in the building.
I've been working with him for the last 2 years, just being patient because we're working on some real big records. we probably got at least like 7 or 8 records done.
Nice.
But shout out to Red Cafe. I'm almost positive we're gonna have some of those gonna see the light of day this year. I'm hoping so.
Hey, listen, I'm always open to a cafe joint, man. Like,
I could be patient for those though, because he got some big plans for like the records with the features and everything like that. So it's just being patient.
Damn, I'm still playing the joint he had with Ross, man. That was my shit right there. But
shout out to my guy Smoke Dizza who put everything together.
I'm in the building.
The Hurt Syndicate anthem, for anybody that doesn't know or doesn't watch wrestling, that's an AEW. Well, now they're the tag team champions. Shout out to Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin. Shout out.
I know there's hella wrestling fans out there.
Shout out MVP, but yeah, Dizza hit me up and he was like, yo, I'm trying to.
He reached out to you.
Yeah, because me and Dizza, we had like a bit of a working relationship. We just didn't get to drop nothing, but he reached out to me. He was just like, yo, we need like a like entrance music for a couple of wrestlers. It's going to be a very big deal because they're about to sign with AEW. He gave me kind of like he was just like, it needs to be like something epic, almost like with horns, but it needs to be kind of like new age. So I started piecing it together piece by piece, sending him like little clips, and he was sending it over to MVP. Right. So then we finally, it didn't really take that long either. We finally got it to where it sounded like they wanted to. So Dizza laid his verse on it. He sent it to West Side Gun. And
because in case people don't know, they're both really big wrestling fans.
Yeah, they're super big wrestling fans. Shout out to West Side Gun. Shout out to Dizza. Shout out to Fourth Rope. That's doing great right now. But so we basically we put that record together, and then Dizza did what he does. He got it over to people at AEW. And next thing I know, on national TV, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, 305, they coming out to We Hurt People.
I mean, hey, that's what they do. That's what they do. So that's what they do. But that's dope though, man. Because I mean, were you a wrestling fan as a kid?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I mean, come on. Now you got.
Yeah, that was like crazy.
Walking out to your
music. Nice. That was a big. It's still a big deal.
Because it's happening in real time. Right?
It happens weekly. Like every Wednesday, if I want to, I could flip on the TV and wait till the Hurt Syndicate come out, and they're playing. They're playing my beat.
That's dope.
And now it's crazy because the song is growing on people. So like on West Side Gun's hook is like We Hurt People. I'm watching viral videos of thousands and thousands of people singing along to the song. We Hurt People and stuff like that. So
the thing is, once they realize it's with intro music, sometimes people don't really understand it like it's an actual song. Like you can go play the shit without. Right. So once people catch on to that, that because that's just the start.
Yes. So yes, the Hurt Syndicate anthem is out now on all platforms. Run up those streams. It's still independently owned by us. So
gotta support that. Yo, salute to Smoke Dizza. Anybody else involved?
Everybody. Smoke Dizza, West Side Gun, MVP.
Salute.
Obviously Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, they had to approve it. And now it's like the Hurt Syndicate stamp. They got the We Hurt People shirts, signs.
The merch.
So it went crazy, man. So for me, that's a huge accomplishment, man. I'm working on a lot right now. I'm just trying to keep the momentum going, man. That's the name of the game right now.
Yeah, as you spoke on, you trying to get into the R&B game as well, or you?
I'm in the R&B game. I just got to get like in touch with more artists. Like one of the artists I work with is Mars. She's from Louisville. Okay. She's like super super dope. She's one of the best singers that I've heard. Like period.
Okay, well salute to her.
If you look, she has Mars. She has like the cosigns from like all the other dopest R&B singers. They all know exactly who she is. So
okay, so she's already in that.
Yeah, she's signed. She's with she's with she's like I think she's still with like RCA. So I'm working with her. We got like a couple records. I'm just waiting for them to get out. But yeah, I mean that's another lane that that I'm capable of producing.
Listen, and I've watched you, man. You progress, and like you said, you stick to what you say. You definitely plan. How important is the planning, man? Because you've mentioned it a few times. How important is the planning, man? Because I understand they say, you can't plan for everything, but having a nice plan is always helpful with the execution.
It is to a sense, but as long as you know what your goal is, the planning, especially for something like this, it becomes kind of easy. It's really like you should be making beats, you should be reaching out to people, and you should be trying to network in person when you can. If you do those 3 things and you're,
consistency
and being consistent with that, and you're just like, if you're a genuine person, people will like kind of naturally start to gravitate towards you and work with you when they meet you in person and stuff. Like I don't let my ego drive me while I'm out there, with working with other underground artists and I'm around them. I don't act like, like I'm too good because I done 28 Lloyd Banks songs and stuff like that. I carry myself humbly, and I let my music speak. Like the beats are not gonna be as humble when you hear them. But like as far as myself and my presence, like I'm a regular human being just like anybody else. I'm working, and I'm working for everything that I get too. Like none of this stuff is luck.
Yeah.
I'm not like just kind of stumbling into stuff. I'm putting myself in a position where I can make things happen for myself. So that's a gem for any upcoming producers. Like you got to put yourself out there, and it takes a lot of work. And you also got to just know, learn as much of the business as you can. And because if you don't, you will be taken advantage of.
That part.
Even like I still go through things now. People, they all hustling, so they're gonna try to get beats for like absolutely nothing or as cheap as they can because that's just the hustle.
Name of the game, yeah.
You have to be smart enough to know when and how to leverage that and when to cut that off when you've gotten to a level where you feel that you should be compensated. And then there's going to be certain situations where you kind of have to weigh
the opportunity as far as
and the opportunity sometimes is not always just the artist. Sometimes the opportunity is the network. And you can leverage that too.
The network will put you onto another opportunity.
Right. And that one you might get like an advance or something crazy.
I don't understand why artists, and not just artists only, but this is the genre we're in, they just refuse to accept that fact. The network is important.
It's the most important. There's people that's in the game and they got money for all kinds of features and all that stuff, and they can't even get to the person to be able to buy the features.
Keep telling them you can have all the money if you don't know who can't find who to get it to.
Fact.
Network is definitely important though. Before I forget though, because I want to get into some few fan questions, I do want to point out that Socialize and damn, I didn't want to forget the name, I can't remember no titles no more. I think I'm burnt out.
I forget too, man.
I can't remember no titles no more. I could listen to shit all day, every day. But the Benny the Butcher joint on Cody too.
Oh, Living Proof.
Living Proof. Those two. I love a lot of your shit, but those two right there. I don't know, maybe if it's what he did with the track, but that's what I do want to ask. You don't have to mention any names, but has there been a beat that you really liked and someone got it and you didn't like what they did with it?
Damn, that's a good question. For a song that's out, or a song like they just sent it and I was like kind of like
Nah, they put it on the album, whether it's a single or beat or album cut.
That's a good question. Honestly, not yet.
That's dope.
Not yet. Everything that has been out, I've like been like, yo, this I like what they did with it. So, knock on wood, hasn't happened yet.
I mean, it's not. That's just the fan question in me. But there's not. Sometimes, because if the fans like it,
right.
But I'm asking you because I know you're a fan as well. And speaking of that, so last year, 2024, what's the album that you played heavy last year? Rap, of course.
Oh man,
I know it's a lot. This is not the best. The best album. Just one of them. You
honestly, everything that I produce.
Okay.
I play like a lot of that. When the new music comes out, I do listen to it, but I always go back and like listen to the stuff that I have dropped, and then I critique sometimes too. I listen and I'll be like, okay, now that this is out with vocals on it and stuff, like what could I have, maybe added, or how can I like kind of duplicate that?
Right.
And sometimes I just think too, like where else can I take my sound, like sonically, like what other avenues, and things like that. So especially because I have the ability to. That's the thing. Like some producers, they can only make a certain kind of beat and sound, and I've since I started, I've always been able to make essentially almost anything I could hear. Like me and my brother both have that in common.
Yes, he's very talented. Salute to him too, because I heard some of this stuff too, and he's versatile as well. So
Yeah,
salute to y'all though. That's what's up.
appreciate that, man.
So before we get out of here, you know, I want to ask, is there a specific artist that, whether it's, you know, no time frame on it, but it's someone that you're really looking forward to working with?
I might have said it before, but it's definitely Nas.
Esco's still out here heavy too.
Yeah,
That's a possibility.
Yeah, I just gotta. I'll find a way. I'll get to him. He just gotta hear, because
he's out here still, and you cooking out here, so you know it'll find its way. You know what I mean? You heard that on the DagogetaTv. You know what I'm saying? So any parting words before we get out of here?
Man, like I said, man, just words of encouragement. The music game is treacherous. It's tough for artists, for producers. You got to really, you know, from the outside looking in, everything looks good. It looks like, you're around celebrities. It looks like fun. You at parties. They don't see the work behind like the scenes that you got to go through. Even a producer like me, going to like these events that I done produced for half the artists on the bill and the albums, and you still got to like make sure you're getting in there so you can network. Cause you know, when I go to these places, I'm not going there to like, you know, for like fun, you know, I'm going there to network. So it's work to me. Because, you know, I take
because you rather be in. I mean, sometimes you know it's out there, but you rather be in the crib some of the time.
Right? Yeah, I got a 4-year-old at home. I got a family. I'd rather just relax. So, you know, don't underestimate the work that it does take, but also don't underestimate yourself. No pun intended. We just talking about living proof, but I'm living proof. I'm out here making it happen. I don't have no crazy manager running around for me. You know, putting everything together. I'm putting stuff together on my own by myself. You know, and I'm just making things happen. I'm building my own genuine relationships, but by being a genuine person. But yeah, those are my parting words are just, you know, for everybody that's out there and, you know, they might hit a wall and they feel like, you know, they want to quit or give up.
It happens.
You know, you can make it happen, but you know, if you quit, you might be quitting right before you get like, you know, that break of opportunity that's going to take you to the next level. So
facts.
You know, just keep it going, man. It's possible.
And just keep that inspiration, man. You know, you can find it in some way. Listen, that's what we preach on the DagogetaTv, man. That's the whole name of the channel. Go get it, my G's. This is where hip hop lives. I'm your guy, Deme D. We out in Long Island, Mr. Everywhere, never there.
Shout out to
Cartune Beatz.
I want to make sure I say shout out to New Legend Studios too, man.
Definitely.
Having us a dope studio.
Make sure y'all pull up, man. They gonna be in the building. They got some rooms for y'all. This is where it's at. Long Island, you already.